So when you think about the whole AI revolution, right, you're probably picturing these giant tech companies with basically unlimited budgets. But what if I told you that when it comes to actually getting real returns from artificial intelligence, your small business has a secret weapon, something that big guys just can't compete with? Let's break down exactly how that works.
And it really all starts with something I like to call the great AI paradox. It's this super surprising twist in who's actually winning the race to make AI profitable.
Okay, so get this. These massive corporations are pouring billions, literally billions of dollars into these huge company-wide AI projects, and their return on investment? A shockingly low 5.9%. I mean, they're spending a fortune and they're just struggling to make it count. So, what about the little guy?
Well, small and medium-sized businesses are seeing a 76% higher return on investment from their AI projects compared to the average. 76%. That's not just a small edge, that is a complete game changer. Which, of course, begs the question, how on earth is that possible?
Now look, this isn't just some fun statistic to throw around. For your business, sitting on the sidelines and waiting on AI, that's no longer a safe bet. Your competitors who are jumping on this could soon be operating at 30 to 50% lower costs, and that creates what's called a compounding efficiency gap. It's a gap that just gets wider and wider every single month you wait.
So let's get into the how. How are smaller businesses pulling this off? Well, the secret isn't a bigger budget, it's your agility. The very thing that makes you a small business is what makes you so powerful in this new era. We call this the agility premium. It's your built-in structural advantage. You know, think of a small marketing agency. They can decide on Monday to test a new AI copywriting tool and have the entire team using it by Friday. Why? Because you don't have layers of bureaucracy. You can deploy AI up to 60% faster than some corporate giant, and that means you get to see real results in months, not years. And this timeline just lays it out perfectly. It's a huge difference. While a big enterprise is stuck in meetings and red tape for 3 to 5 years just trying to see a return, your business can be there in 6 to 12 months. You get to adapt, pivot, and profit while they're still stuck in committee.
So what does this agility premium actually look like in terms of, real dollars and cents? Let's break down the blueprint for getting a real return on your investment.
Let's start with the most valuable thing you have: time. On average, employees using these new generative AI tools save about 5.4% of their work week. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but that's over 2 hours per employee every single week. That's just handed right back to you. And honestly, that's just the starting point. Because when you start applying AI to specific jobs, the gains just become insane. Your customer service team, they can resolve 15% more issues every single hour. Your developers using AI assistants, they can complete 126% more projects. Your marketing team can crank out 15% more content. We're not talking about small tweaks here. These are massive productivity multipliers.
And here's the bottom line, the thing that really matters. This isn't just about saving time or cutting a few costs. All of that incredible new efficiency, it translates directly to your top line. A staggering 91% of small and medium businesses that are using AI are reporting a direct boost in their revenue.
Okay, so you're ready to jump in. But when you start to budget for it, you might be surprised to learn that the software itself, it's not the biggest piece of the pie. It's not even close, actually.
A really successful AI budget follows what we call the 40-30-20-10 rule. A full 40% of your budget should go to getting your data ready and integrating the systems. This is, without a doubt, the most critical part. Then, 30% is for the actual software. 20%, and this is huge, must be dedicated to training your people to actually use it. And finally, 10% is for keeping the whole system running smoothly over time.
Of course, all this potential doesn't come without a few challenges. AI is incredibly powerful, but let's be honest, it can be risky. The good news is, these risks are totally manageable, but only if you know what to look for.
First thing you need to get your head around is the productivity J-curve. It's completely normal and actually expected to see a temporary dip in performance right after you roll out a new AI tool. These are just adjustment costs. Your team's learning, you're changing how you work. The key is to push through that dip to get to the massive growth that's waiting on the other side.
And we have to be really honest about the stakes here. The harsh reality is that somewhere between 70 and 80% of all corporate AI projects, they fail. They just fail to deliver what they promised. Most of them never even make it out of the testing phase. Now, that number sounds scary, but it actually gives us a really important clue. It forces us to ask the right question, which is, why?
What's the common thread in all of those failures?
And here's what the data tells us. AI projects almost never fail because the technology was bad. They fail for strategic reasons. The top 3 culprits are messy, poor quality data, not having a clear business problem you're trying to solve, and not investing enough in training your people. Sound familiar? This is exactly why that 40-20 budget for data and training is so important.
All right, so now that we know the pitfalls, we can build a smart plan to completely avoid them. A phased launch is your ticket to success, and it's how you really use that agility we were talking about earlier.
Your roadmap can be broken down into 3 really simple phases. For the first 6 months, you just pilot and prove. Don't try to change the whole company overnight. Just pick one big pain point and prove the ROI. Then, from 6 to 12 months, you integrate and train. You roll it out to the team. And finally, after a year, that's when you scale and optimize, expanding into new areas of your business.
The entire strategy really just boils down to this. Start small so you can manage your risk and prove the value. Become obsessed with the quality of your data. That's the fuel for any AI system. And most importantly, invest in your people. Because at the end of the day, AI is just a tool and they're the ones who have to make it work.
The era of AI is absolutely here. But the winners are not going to be the companies with the biggest budgets. They're going to be the ones who are the smartest and, more importantly, the fastest. So the only real question left is your business ready to turn its natural agility into its greatest competitive advantage?